I am 6 books behind on my reading goal, and in this video we're going to change that.
All I have to say is when this book comes out, pick it up. It's just so well planned out.
I don't know. I'm getting good feelings from the book right now. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Amber. Like previously stated, it's time to catch back up on my reading goal. I feel like I have not been in any long reading slumps, but a lot of sporadic reading slumps to where I'm just taking forever to finish books because I don't really feel like picking them up, or just nothing's really hitting the way I want it to when I pick them up. So then I just kind of sit there and drag my feet before I pick up the next book. And I really want to catch back up. My reading goal this year is to read 65 books. Starting off, the first book that we are going to be reading, I am already about 39% of the way through in this book, but that one is To Touch a Silent Fury by R.A. Sandpiper. This is a arc that I got, and it comes out September 5th. So probably around the time that this video goes up, this book should be releasing. And it says, she rides to claim her fate, he flies to burn it down. As the only woman in the Moontouch Brotherhood, Tani studies on the haughty island of Evanfold, surrounded by men who see her as an ill omen at best. Her fate ceremony is only days away, offering 5 possible escapes from the storm-locked island, but each with their own consequences. Lang, an insubordinate crown prince, holds the reins to one of the few true dragons left in the world. Sent to Evanfold on a diplomatic mission by his warmongering father, he watches as the brothers bestow a rare and unwanted marriage fate on Tani. Already, her touch magic alarms him, but if she succeeds and marries the victor of the upcoming tournament, her power could topple empires. They both arrive at the games, her to claim her fate, him to destroy it by any means possible. Let me just tell you that I have been enjoying this book so much. It has such a unique magic system. And the world itself, so there's like different kingdoms, I guess you'd call them, but they all have to do with the 5 senses. And the number 5 is very prevalent in this book. So they go by spans, and each span is 5 years. And then there's 5 fates that you can get in the Brotherhood once you like reach I think it's when they turn 18. And those fates are death, knowledge, acquisition, marriage, and service. I don't remember what each of the 5 kingdoms are, but there's the touch lens, the sound lens, the sight lens, and I can't remember what the other 2 are. They all have to do with, obviously, your 5 senses, but it's just such an interesting magic system because, like our main character, her powers are through touch. So when she touches somebody's bare skin, she can sense all of their feelings. So they get these powers, and all of these moon-touched, a lot of these kingdoms don't like the moon-touched, but you can pretty much tell if you are one from the start because they have white hair and white eyes. But a lot of them will sell them to the Brotherhood to get money for it. And then there's other areas of the world where if a child is born moon-touched, they will just unalive them from the start. They're viewed as like a bad omen. And she's the only female in the Brotherhood, and so when she's brought there, shortly after she arrives, there's like an incident that happens, and it gets explained what it is. But all of the other members of this Brotherhood try and steer clear of her, if not outright unalive her, because they, like it said previously, view her as a bad omen. And there's a bunch of things that happen pretty early on in this book. I have not had a moment where I've really been bored. The whole beginning of this, there's really no spot where it feels overwhelming, like the information. There's no huge information dump, but the author does a really good job at explaining things to you, but weaving it in with the story. So you don't feel overwhelmed by it. It just feels very natural as things progress throughout the story. The Dragon Prince. Also, there were people in the beginning of this that I thought were going to have a significant role, and they straight up just take them out at the beginning. I was like, okay, excuse me, I was liking that character. Let me just try not to get attached to anybody, apparently. There also are a couple different potential love interests in the beginning, so I really don't know who's going to be the love interest in this book. I have a feeling I know who it will be, but with the way that this book is going, That may not be the case. I may be completely wrong. I do really like the plot of this also. There's just really nothing that I can complain about as of yet. I'm pretty much 40% of the way through the book. Overall, feels very well written. Doesn't feel like any plot holes. Everything's making sense to me. I'm not confused in any way, shape, or form. I'm not bored at all. I feel like things are moving along at a very quick pace. And I'm very interested to see where this is about to go, because I feel like things are about to get extremely interesting at the point that I'm at. And also, our two main characters as of now have barely even had any time to even talk or see each other. So I'm excited to get to that part too. We know I love a good slow burn. So if this holds true to that slow burn and the fact that it has dragons in it, I don't know. I'm getting good feelings from the book right now. Hopefully I don't jinx myself, but let's get back into this now that I've explained what I'm reading, and we'll see how this book ends up going.
I'm sorry for this lighting, but I had to update. I'm 94% of the way. This book has me screaming. Screaming. I can't put the... All I have to say is when this book comes out, pick it up. Okay? Pick it up. I'm not kidding you. I can't. Some shit was about to go down, and the twist that this book took... What do you mean? What do you mean? The tension drags out for so long in this book. So long in this book, it's not even funny. Every time I was just like, please... just give me some crumbs. That's all I'm asking for. If you like slow burns, this book's for you. I'm not kidding you. The twists that this book has taken, some of them you get like hints at it and it's kind of a little obvious, but it's not. It's just so well planned out. I'm eating this book up. I haven't felt the need to just consume a book like this one in a hot minute. You have dragons, you have slow burn, you have wyverns, you have yearning, you have banter, you have enemies to lovers, you have multiple potential love interests. You just don't know what's gonna happen. My mind can't even like fully even form a coherent thought because there's just so many things going through my head, and I'm just internally screaming that I can't even properly convey what I'm thinking right now. I don't think I found any typos in this book. The structure of the book just seems so well planned out. I'm thoroughly impressed. Very happy with this book. You'll get another update when I'm done. I'm 94% of the way through, and I need to go finish this. 4.75 stars. I don't have too much more to say on top of what I said last night, but if you are looking for your next fantasy that has a really good balance between the politics, the magic system, and the romance, this is your book. It was really unique because you have the fates that I talked about in the beginning, but the way that their powers manifest after like finishing their task is really interesting, getting to see each character's progression. And there were so many moments in this book where I was like, that is not where I pictured this going. That is not what I saw, not what I thought I would see, but it's a pleasant thing nonetheless. The ending to this, so many things in that last chapter, like the last two chapters I should say, crazy, and it's criminal that the next book isn't out yet. I'm dying for the next one. I need it so bad it's not even funny. This was everything I was looking for in a fantasy book. Like, I mean, everything that I've been looking for in a fantasy book for a hot minute. No disappointments here. I liked all the characters. No problems with any of them. I liked their dynamics. The book flowed really well. It had really good pacing too. There was no moments in this where I felt bored at all, especially like the last 30 to 40%. I could not put this book down at all. I had to keep reading. I had to see what was going to happen. I can't stop thinking about the ending of this book. It slightly went in the direction that I thought it was going to, but then it took a hard left turn. And I was like, oh, well, that's not how I expected that to end, but now I need the next book. I need to see where this is going to go. I have a feeling that the action is going to be amped up tenfold in the next book. This one, it's like the first book in a series where you're getting the magic system, but the author did it in such a good way to where
I didn't feel like I was just getting a bunch of info dump. It flowed really well throughout the story versus just getting everything thrown at you right at the beginning and being like, I'm confused, I'm bored. This just feels like we're getting nowhere. The author sprinkled it throughout all of the beginning to where it fit into the story seamlessly, but I was still getting the information that I needed. The world of this is super unique. I can't even properly put into words how this book is because I cannot for the life of me get over the ending. I cannot stop thinking about it. It just like every time I start going somewhere with my thoughts, I just get a grin for the last couple chapters of this. I highly recommend picking this up. This is going to be a duology. It's perfect to pick up now because you'll read this one and you only have one other one to wait on. I really don't even... It's not that it reminds me of any books, but the feelings that I got while reading this book were very similar to like One Dark Window, Fourth Wing, Throne of Glass. Like I just felt very invested in the characters and I felt like the writing was just really well done. I guess I'll give examples as to like why I say those books. With the One Dark Window, it's more so of like, I really enjoyed the FMC. The MMC mildly reminded me of the MMC in One Dark Window and just kind of like that writing style. It's just that super easy to binge, no info dump, but you still feel sucked into that world. It's that aspect of it. Fourth Wing, it's mainly just the dragons. There's just one scene really in particular in this one where the MMC is like a show off with his dragon, and that kind of mildly gave me like Xaden with his dragon vibes, and that's really the only aspect for Fourth Wing. And then I say Throne of Glass because of kind of how the backstory of the politics, where it doesn't feel heavy on the politics, but it's enough to where you know that the story is building towards a lot of action that's potentially going to happen. Our FMC is definitely going to be at the center of it, kind of manipulating and controlling how things are going to be going. So yeah, those are like the biggest things. Yeah, I just can't recommend this enough. I don't know. I'm kind of even teetering towards a 5-star for this. I just thoroughly enjoyed this. This is going to be one that I'm thinking of often. Anyway, to keep me from winding up in a reading slump, I just picked the next book up last night, and that's going to be The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew. So you're following Delaney, who is deaf, and she gets a scholarship to go to, I was saying God Bowl, but I did get my hands on the audiobook from Hoopla for this, and the way that the narrator said it was like Gold Bowl University. Basically, the students at this university get trained to slip between worlds, and not much has happened. I'm 53 pages in, and basically all that's happened is she's gotten into this school, and in the first chapter it talks about Colton Price. He's the MMC in this. It's him. I'm still confused on exactly what happened, but basically in the first chapter it makes it sound like he drowned when he was younger, and then he's on the edge of this lake or pond, whatever it was, and our main character Delaney is standing over him, and then it fast forwards to now, and she's at this university, and he was told that he's not allowed to talk to her or be around her, but she's in one of the class that I don't know if he's like the co-teacher or if he's just the teacher. I think he's just the teacher assistant. So it's kind of impossible for him to completely avoid her. And there are a lot of mysterious deaths that are happening to students of this. And Colton is kind of like the main one behind like looking into what's happening. And by the sounds of it with the synopsis, it sounds like him and Delaney are going to have to work together to figure out these sudden deaths that are happening to all the students. So it's definitely, it kind of gives more dark academia vibes with the setting, with like a mystery aspect to it. So far, I am enjoying it. It's pretty fast paced. I'm a little confused on what's going on, but things are getting answered as I'm progressing through this. So I feel like this is the perfect start for fall. Today and tomorrow are going to be hotter here, but then towards Wednesday and Thursday, it's supposed to dramatically cool off here, and it's really gonna feel like fall, so. Okay, I'm still reading The Whispering Dark. How far into that am I? I've been listening to the audiobook a lot more. So I am like 53% of the way through that, but I'm taking a break because I didn't know. I have not been keeping up on this. I didn't know that Fearful came out yesterday. So I did end up buying that on my Kindle. I honestly don't really know what this is about. And I kind of want to keep it that way. Like, I don't really know who this is about. I see that the prologue says Mara, which it's been a minute since I finished this. I kind of don't remember who that is. So that'll be interesting. I didn't even know. I had seen probably a month ago, like a brief thing on Lauren Roberts' Instagram of her like showing her writing it. But for some reason it didn't register in my brain that this was going to be a thing. So, we're going to start this. It's like 224 pages, so it'll be a quick read. Okay, so I've found out that this takes place during, what was it? This takes place during Fearless. It's making so much sense now. I remember thinking on how he sounded crazy to everybody, and now it makes so much sense. He's still crazy, don't get me wrong, but how do I explain this without sounding so weird? It was one of the main characters in Fearless. I'm going to keep this spoiler free. So if you've read Fearless, you're going to understand what I'm saying. If you haven't, none of this is going to make sense to you. One of the main characters in Fearless comes across crazy during it. Like, it sounds like they're talking to themselves. This book makes you actually understand what was going on. They're still crazy, don't get me wrong. They're still crazy. And they would still look crazy to anybody else. But now I understand. So this is nice because you definitely get more understanding behind that particular character. Even though they weren't necessarily a character that I really liked in that book, it's still nice to get a better understanding. There's also a new character in here that wasn't in those books. This is nice because it's kind of like how Adina's story was, where it does go with the timeline, which I saw Lauren Roberts post. I don't know if it was on her story and it was like somebody else's post or if it was her own post that she shared, but it was the tandem read guide. Reading Fearless and Fearful at the same time. I thought about doing that, but I honestly just don't want to. I didn't mind Fearless, but it's not one that I ever want to go back and read. I probably honestly won't update again until I'm done with this book because it's so short. So. So bear with me through this part. This whole thing has been really yappy, but I was editing and the clip where I reviewed Fearful, no audio, none, which, do I have audio here? Okay, there's at least audio on this one. So we're going to be doing 2 reviews now. We're going to be talking about Fearful first and then talking about The Whispering Dark. Again, bear with me through this review because when I was in the middle of reading this, I started getting really bad stomach pains and ended up going to the hospital for them. And it turns out that I had a cyst on my left ovary. So this kind of became a blur to me. So bear with me through my thoughts on this one. I guess I'll start with what I'm rating it. It's getting somewhere between like a 2.5 and a 3. This one, I liked it because it does give you more of like a background on Kit and what was going on through his mind throughout that, where that one's more like surface level. You're not really getting full answers on why he was acting the way he was, where this one you do get a lot more of that. There is a character in here that we've never met before and you get their point of view also. It was interesting. My biggest problem really with this whole series is I just feel like everything is very surface level. You never fully get, I feel like, any answers. They all feel like, it feels like when you're talking to someone and they're kind of giving you the answers that they think you want to hear without ever like diving into it. You never get like a full solid answer. It's just kind of sprinkled at the top of like, here you go. I hope this is sufficient enough for you. And it bugs me. It truly bugs me. The way my brain works also is, even if I'm not liking something, it took me forever to even start considering DNFing books. The way my brain is if there are unanswered questions, it bugs me no matter how much I'm not having a good time. I'll keep reading. This series, it's an okay series to me. It's not bad per se, but it irritates me nonetheless. If there's another book that comes out, I'll still end up reading it because I have questions that I want answered. I need to know. I don't want to just have a very vague answer to where it's left up for me to decipher and decide what that means. I don't want that. Just give me an answer, please. Like, there are things in here where I'm going to keep this vague because I don't want to do any spoilers, but like the things that were going through my mind during this were like, why is he acting like that? Why is that his thought process? Why can that character see something that nobody else can see? What does that even mean? Why did this all even start? How did we get to this point? What was the purpose of it? And I feel like none of them were truly answered. It's kind of just left up in the air. I feel like every time I read one of the books, I come out with more questions than I went into it with, you know? I also feel like none of the characters and like their dynamics really feel all that natural to me. They feel kind of forced. So that, again, knocks it down for me. The more I think on these books, the more irritated I feel. If you like the series, definitely pick it up. It was nice getting to see more into Kit's mind. I don't want there to be more books, but at the same time, like, I feel like I still want answers to some of the things here, and the way that this is left off, I can see there being more novellas. That's all I'm going to say on that book. Now on to The Whispering Dark. I finished this 2 days ago, and this is getting a flat 4 stars. I definitely had a really good time reading this. I liked listening to the audiobook too, so definitely, if you're going to read this, I definitely recommend trying to get that audiobook. The first, I'd say like 50% through this book, it had me wanting to know like where things were gonna go, but I didn't feel fully invested. It was kind of one of those things where it's like, I'm having a good time, but it was kind of hard for me to pick up when I did have free time. After I hit the 50% mark, so many things started happening. Colton, really enjoyed his character. By the end of this, I was like, please give me more. The romance in this is very, very subtle, very minimal. It's not like a focal point at all. The biggest thing is the mystery aspect to this had me so invested. I needed to know where it was going to go. It had plenty of twists at the end that I didn't see coming. And it was one of those things where like, this definitely feels like a YA book. I didn't look in to see if it was YA or not, but it feels like it. It was one of those things where it's not overly creepy, but it's just enough to kind of have you like mildly cringing at certain parts. Really well done. The writing was really good. The pacing was really well done. The plot and the way that it went was very well thought out. I had a very fun time. This is perfect for the start of fall because it does have kind of that like dark gothic academia feel with plenty of paranormal. The route that she had the main character going also, like not understanding fully who she is at the beginning and then slowly moving into better understanding who she is and what she's able to do was really interesting. I would say like the last 15% of this book, I pretty much binged. I didn't get up until I was done with it because the ending is very like fast paced. You're getting a ton of answers thrown at you at once. A lot of things going on. Overall, this was just a very fun read. Mildly creepy. I think that I read this really at the perfect time. I feel like if I would have picked this up this summer, I don't think that I would have enjoyed this as much as I did this time around. Definitely recommend picking this up for fall. Very fun read. It sent me into a spiral of wanting to read more mystery and thrillers. I'm kind of sad with how long I actually put this off because I've had this on my bookshelf for probably 2 years now and I just now got to it. But with that now done, I do only need to read 3 more books to be caught up on my Goodreads goal, which I've been trying to utilize a lot more audiobooks, and I feel like that's definitely helped. But that is all that I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave a little book stack emoji. Also leave a comment to let me know if any of these books interest you or if you've read any of them, what you also rated them. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!